The Adeyemi's home was always full of life in the morning. The sound of the blender, the smell of toast, the rush of footsteps, and the endless ringing of phones created a kind of music that never stopped. Amaka Adeyemi, a banker, was the queen of this morning orchestra. She moved quickly from the kitchen to the dining table, packing her daughter's small lunchbox while answering emails on her phone. Her husband, Kunle, an IT consultant, was already dressed in a sharp suit, sipping his coffee while flipping through documents he would later present at a meeting. And then there was Tife, their daughter. Little 4-year-old Tife sat at the table with her favorite teddy bear, her big brown eyes following her parents as they moved around like people in a race. Her soft voice tried to get their attention. "Mommy, will you come to school with me today?" she asked, hope shining in her eyes. Amaka smiled, bending to kiss her daughter's forehead. "Not today, baby. Mommy has to go to work, but guess what? I will bring you ice cream on my way back." Tife's smile faded a little, but she nodded slowly. She was used to hearing that answer. Kunle patted her gently. "Daddy will read you a story tonight, okay?" Both parents knew that by the time they returned home, Tife would most likely be asleep. They were hardworking, ambitious, and determined to give their daughter the best life possible. They wanted her to attend the best schools, live in comfort, and never lack anything. But in chasing success, they did not notice the one thing Tife wanted the most: their time. Like many working parents, Amaka and Chidi could not be everywhere at once. They needed someone to watch over Tife while they chased their careers. The first two nannies had not worked out. One was careless, the other left suddenly. So when Grace was recommended by a church member, Amaka felt relief. Grace was in her mid-20s, soft-spoken, with a shy smile and quiet manner. She had glowing references from a family that claimed she was trustworthy. At the short interview, Amaka asked, "Do you love children?" Grace nodded quickly. "Yes, ma, very much. I enjoy being with them. You will not have any problem with me." Kunle studied her carefully, but Amaka's heart was already sold. Something about Grace's calm spirits felt right, and so she was hired. At first, everything seemed perfect. Grace sang nursery rhyme with Tife, took her on little walks in the compound, and sent Amaka cheerful updates on WhatsApp with pictures of Tife smiling. Amaka felt grateful. Finally, she could focus on work without worrying about her child. But she had no idea that behind that sweet smile, a different Grace existed. The first month passed without problems. Tife still missed her parents, but she seemed to enjoy Grace's company. But slowly, Amaka noticed small changes. Tife became quieter. She no longer ran to the door with excitement when Amaka returned from work. Instead, she stayed in her room, holding her teddy bear. One evening, Amaka saw faint bruises on Tife's arm. Her heart jumped. "What happened, my baby?" Before Tife could answer, Grace quickly said, "Oh, madam, she fell while playing ball outside. I have already rubbed ointment. It is nothing serious." Amaka looked at her daughter, who nodded slowly but avoided eye contact. She brushed it off. Children fall all the time, she told herself. Another day, Amaka noticed her daughter refused to eat dinner. "But you love rice and stew," she said. Tife whispered, "I don't want it, mommy." Grace quickly interrupted. "She already ate too much this afternoon. She is full." Again, Amaka ignored her instincts. She was tired from work, and Grace seemed so helpful. But in the dark of the night, she could not shake the feeling that something was wrong.
When Amaka and Kunle left each morning, Grace's smile faded. She had no patience for Tife's question or her childish refusals. Eat this food now, she would snap. If Tife hesitated, Grace would pinch her small arms, hard enough to leave marks. Your mommy is not here to save you. If you tell her, I will beat you. Tife, too young to fully understand, believed her, so she kept quiet. Sometimes, Grace would lock her in the room with no toys, telling her, stay there until you learn how to behave. The cheerful pictures she sent to Amaka were carefully staged, smiles forced out of fear. The perfect nanny was nothing but an actress. One evening, Amaka returned home earlier than usual. A meeting had been cancelled and she was excited to surprise her daughter. She walked quietly into the compound, her heels clicking softly on the tiles. As she approached the sitting room, she froze. She heard Tife's small, shaky voice. Mommy said I shouldn't eat this. Grace's voice was sharp, nothing like the gentle tone she used with Amaka. Your mommy is not here. Eat it now before she comes. If you refuse, you will see what I will do to you. Amaka's heart pounded. She peeped through the door. Grace stood over Tife, forcing a dirty plate of food into her face. Tife's cheeks were red with tears, her small hands shaking. Amaka's hand trembled. For a moment, she couldn't move.
Then, anger gave her strength. She pushed the door open. Grace! Grace spun around, her fake smile instantly returning. Ah, madam, you are back early. We were just what? Amaka cut her short. Amaka's voice shook with fury. Do you think I didn't hear you? Tife ran into her mother's arm, sobbing uncontrollably. In that moment, Amaka knew she had failed her daughter.
That night, when the house was quiet, Amaka sat with Tife on her laps. Baby, tell mommy the truth. Has Grace been hurting you? At first, Tife hesitated, looking scared. But with gentle assurance, she finally opened up. Yes, mommy, she pinches me. She locks me in the room. She says if I tell you, she will beat me. Amaka's tears flowed freely, uncontrollably. Each word pierced her heart. She hugged her daughter tightly, guilt washing over her. How could she have ignored the signs? How could she have trusted a stranger so blindly? Kunle listened quietly, clenched his fist in anger. That woman must pay. But more than anger, they both felt regret. The next morning, Grace was sent away immediately. Kunle reported the case to the local authorities, though he knew punishment would never erase the scars. Amaka and Kunle made a new promise to be more present in their daughter's life. Amaka requested flexible hours at work, even though it meant fewer promotions. Kunle began working from home twice a week, and slowly, Tife began to smile again. One night, while tucking her into bed, Amaka whispered, I am sorry, my baby. I thought I was giving you the best life, but I forgot that the best thing you need is me. Tife smiled sleepily, hugging her teddy bear. I am happy when you are here, mommy. Tears filled Amaka's eyes, but this time they were tears of healing. Months later, Amaka stood before a group of mothers at her office women's forum. She shared her story, her voice trembling with emotion. We all want the best for our children. We work hard to give them a good life. But sometimes, in chasing success, we unknowingly hand our children over to strangers who may harm them. Please, I beg you, always do background checks, install cameras, drop in unannounced, and most importantly, listen to your children, trust your instincts, even their silence speaks. The room was quiet. Some mothers had tears in their eyes. Amaka concluded, success means nothing if we lose our children in the process. Be present, because no nanny, no matter how sweet, can replace a parent's love. One evening, months later, Amaka arrived home early again. She found Tife building blocks on the floor, humming happily. When Tife saw her, her eye lit up with joy. "Mommy, you are home." Amaka dropped her bag, swept her daughter into her arms, and breathed in her scent. For the first time in years, she felt at peace. She had learnt the hardest way, but she would never forget. To all parents out there, always remember that while chasing success and the best life, children need protection, not just provision. Presence, not just presents. I hope this sounds as a soft reminder never to trust strangers blindly with our children. Please do not forget to subscribe, like, comment and share this story to raise more awareness. Thank you for watching. Bye.